The best thing for me about medical education last year was probably the ideals strand as part of the placement module. It was my main motivation really for signing up to MedEd, was because I'd really looked up to the intercalating student that was in my group, and he just made it sound like a really great course. And I was really keen to get that kind of interaction, that experience teaching the first years in something I absolutely love, ideals, and it was a real privilege to teach it, to have. It was it made it feel real, a bit like placement in a ward makes medicine feel real, because you were given the teaching plans and there was a group and you had to teach them.
So for me, I think the best thing about studying MedEd was kind of learning the behind the scenes of the medical school, is how I think about it. So we learnt about how we're assessed and why we're assessed in that way. We learnt about how we were taught, and understanding that people learn in different ways. So that's why we're taught things in different ways. So it's kind of interesting to see what 3 years of Leeds Med School, kind of what was actually the reason behind why we've been taught like that. And then kind of through that, I learnt a lot about how I myself learn best.
It's really difficult for me to think what the best thing was, because there's so many great things that happened during my year of studying medical education. But if I had to pick one thing, I'd probably say it's just doing the research project. It was absolutely the most challenging, to keep that in mind, but it's probably one of the most rewarding things you do. And it's not just from a sense academically about learning about something you're passionate about, but it's also the personal development that comes along with it. You know, I learned a lot about my own limitations, whether that be time management, but also I can really play to my strengths, and it's an amazing feeling to, after all that time, put together something you feel proud of and present it to everyone at the end of the year.
If I was to go back to the start of last year and think about what I would probably have liked to have known, I think it would be that improvement is probably something, or hopefully definitely something, that will happen throughout the year. So I remember when you get your first set of marks back thinking, oh no, this isn't 100%, this is devastating. But it took a while to get used to, but it's a good thing, and that you will get this early feedback, and it will help you improve, I think, on skills that you haven't used so much in medicine.
Make the most of all of the tutors, kind of from the start of the year. At the start of the year, I had a little bit of a fear of kind of asking for feedback and kind of exposing work that I knew wasn't my best, but I wasn't sure what to do. But actually, all of the tutors at all stages were super helpful. You kind of go and they're never going to tell you off. They're just there to give you constructive feedback, and it's just a waste if you don't ask, and they're going to help you get better marks. They're going to help you understand things better and help you through. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask for feedback.
The thing that helped me most last year, I think, was organisation and preparation, probably. So keeping on top of stuff, doing reading early in advance, planning things, having a diary, scheduling it in. Because at first glance, whilst it might seem like there are lots of potential gaps in the timetable, stuff fills up quickly and there's often quite a lot to do, particularly in the second term.
I'd say just enjoy your year. It is busy. It's kind of there's a lot to do, but it comes in nice manageable chunks. So you work hard for one assessment, and then you kind of finish that and you move on, and it doesn't all build up like it does in medicine. So you will have a lot more time to kind of explore different things in uni, like get involved in things outside of medicine. And yeah, just take a chance to kind of step back and get ready, because if you're going into third or fourth year, you want to take a bit of time to chill before you go head first into all the clinical stuff, I think.
I'd say that it's an amazing year. Don't go in thinking that you're just going to learn about education or how the curriculum works, because it's a lot more than that. It's a real chance for you to develop personally and develop skills that you didn't even know that you had or could even think of. It's a real chance to grow and mature over the course of the year, and I really didn't expect that. So I would say just go in with an open mind, follow what you're passionate about in the research project.
The year in general was absolutely wonderful. It was a great time you have to reflect on the placement module, but also thinking slightly more meta, as it were. I found it a great chance to reflect on medicine and life and where I was, and I've quite drastically changed my career aspirations because of this year, to think slightly differently about things and learn some new skills and focus on you a bit more, rather than going headlong into medicine. And it's just a nice time to have a breather, to make the most and enjoy that.